All right, guys, we're back with the Millennial Toast podcast. I'm here with Who Am I?
Hey, man, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? TV.tv, cold shit, man.
And he has some friends here. You guys can introduce yourselves.
Mark Walker, a.k.a. Nameless. Out here from the 856 year.
Nameless.
Super Bowl Mills. OB from everywhere.
Don't even go ahead. Just say cut.
Let's go by Adi the Proudy. Right in South Jersey.
All right. A lot of South Jersey people in here today.
Word.
So I just want to get into like some of the regular stuff that we usually do. So what have you guys been listening to? On the radio.
Oh, man. Hottest new artist, top 5. Right now. Hold up. I got this joint already for you.
God.
I'm going to just go in no random order. XXX Tentacion. Tekashi 6ix9ine. Don't hate on me, yo. Don't at me. My at name is WHOAMI We can argue. Tory Lanez. Kodak Black. G Herbo. Top 5 new artists out right now.
G Herbo, that's surprising from all that.
That's my favorite out of all of them.
I don't ever hear you bump with G Herbo.
Don't make me say his whole album front to back. It's going to get like that. That's my top 5.
Got anything you guys been listening to as well?
I can't go wrong with Big Sean, you know what I'm saying? Who else?
You can go.
I mess with X too. Big Sean, you can go wrong?
Yeah.
Nah, I can't go. Never. I mess with X.
Never.
Drake, of course. Kendrick, that's my man's right there. Favorite rapper. And Lil Wayne, but Lil Wayne ain't been coming out with that heat. Like D6 was alright, but it wasn't heat.
Smart is such a cheater. He gonna say people that's old. Like obviously they're gonna agree with you.
Like, how's that cheating?
See,
I'm not saying
even it started already. Even they're like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You're good. You said Kendrick and Lil Wayne, so you straight.
Nah, I mess with X too, bro. You like Yachty? You mess with his album?
Nah, I don't like Yachty. He sounds dumb to me when he raps.
He do got a little speech impediment, but.
I want a Beamer coupe and no Audi.
You got anything you've been listening to?
New people, like
Just anybody. Just anybody.
Well, recently I've been listening to like Juice WRLD, Lil Skies, Trippie Redd.
Trippie that dude.
I gotta check out Juice WRLD, bro.
I never heard of Lil Skies or Juice WRLD. I
I
heard Lil
never
Skies
heard
just
of
today
them.
on the
Look
Tekashi
them
interview.
up. They got some pretty good shit.
It's a day. They're a group.
Nah. Lil Skies and Juice WRLD two different.
Oh, I bet. Say less.
What about you, bro?
Sheesh. I rock with Kodak.
Right.
Right. Herbo, definitely. Gotta put Drake in there. Top 5.
Top five.
You talk about my favorite artist of all time. Like I wouldn't say all time, but my favorite artist right now is
My man finishes 5.
Uzi, yeah, bro.
Oh, man.
What?
You said, my fault. You said your favorite artist of all time is Lil Uzi Vert.
I just said right now, but like right now.
Oh,
right now.
Start copying, please.
All right. So mine's. I've been listening. I don't know if you guys have heard the Lil Dicky and Chris Brown.
Mm-hmm. That song.
You guys watched the video?
That video is tough.
That video was tough, right?
Who showed me that? You?
I probably.
Somebody in here showed me
I told
that.
you about it. I probably showed you.
That was a real good video.
Yeah.
My question with that video is: did Lil Dicky write the whole song, or did Chris Brown write Lil Dicky's part?
I would say Chris Brown wrote Lil Dicky part when he was rapping. Or when he was singing.
You think? That was my thing on the song. Like, it would be so hot if they both just wrote each other's parts. But I feel like Lil Dicky wrote the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting.
That
Video's
I should research
He
that.
said, "What's
Yeah,
up, my nigga?"
That's what's up, right?
So then, another person I've listened to, Javon off of OG. His
Tough,
new track,
man. Shout out
Legend Love. We listened to that heavy. Then there's an artist that has been following me for a while. His name is Running Up Tune. It's called Ain't My Dog, and he has a Reverb Nation track on there. It's like he's from Maryland, so it's like Maryland hip hop, like really like heavy stuff like that. Then I've been listening to like Top Off, DJ Khaled, Future, Jay-Z, Beyonce. That track. And then there's a new artist from South Jersey as well. His name is Tone Stiff. He's part of he got a cosign from Drake. So he's like an R&B singer. So he has like some singles called Get It Right that are out now. Crazy With You is his latest track, so you guys should listen to that. And then another track is 2122. I haven't listened to that one yet, but the other two tracks that I named are good tracks if you like R&B hit. So that's always good. You guys been listening to any like throwbacks? Because I'm like a throwback kind of guy.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it depends on what's a
like-
throwback like.
like-
like 90s stuff, like
Oh,
80s,
nah.
like 80s.
Nah,
Like 80s.
throwback for me is 2000s. That's where I'm gonna cap it at. Like, I always go back to Neo. Like, whenever any Neo
I
song.
bump a little bit of Tank, a little bit of Music Soul Child.
Tank definitely.
Nigga ain't say Neo. Yo, I'm gonna get this straight. Set and Omarion. Neo and Omarion are the two top R&B artists ever. That nigga.
They be forgetting their prime.
Yeah,
I love Omarion too. Omarion said it.
right. He said what? Hold up.
Who else?
I haven't listened to it. I
He
haven't
made,
Mario.
he made your girl say what?
What about Mario?
Mario? Nah,
Just
he was
a
never.
fanboy.
He was never it for
Sammy?
me. I don't know who that is.
Lil Sammy.
Only Lloyd, Omarion, and Neo. That's literally it.
Who else? Who else? R. Kelly.
Yeah, he's the GOAT. He peed in somebody's mouth. He got away with it, bro. It was video footage of it, though. That's the crazy part. Money, man, does a lot of things for you.
For real.
What about you guys?
I mean, I've been bumping some J, some old J.
Okay.
I feel it. Yeah.
He said, "I don't do the old. I don't do the old
I
school."
don't get me wrong. Like, I like old school
You
stuff, but I don't
with
be
a shorty
bumping.
that be bumping it. That's the only time I really listen to it when I'm with a girl. Nah, she want to bump that.
The new school way better than the old school, though. Can I just go on record saying that? Way better, like way better.
Everything, every aspect, every genre.
I don't know about no other genre.
What you mean?
I don't know about nothing but hip hop and R&B and some rock.
I mean, yeah, I'm not talking about like rap.
Are you talking about every aspect of like what it is to be an artist? Like, the look of the new artist is tough. The music is better. The beats are better.
But they went from baggy ass clothes to like
Overall
to fit
quality.
stuff. Like, there's some funny as hell.
Quality better. Like you get more out of your artist now. You could probably tweet him and he might tweet you back. Like it's just a better generation for music. So y'all old ass hating niggas that be saying music is trash. It's not. It's fire. Y'all just old.
I feel like there was just more originality back then. Now
Yeah, I feel
everybody
like
trying to be like
there's more.
everybody
Yeah,
else.
that's very true.
Back in
Are
the
we
day,
saying-
like it's like back in the day, it was a lot harder to find talent. Now you just find that shit around the corner. You feel me? Like
I agree with you as far as like it's so much easier to find talent, but I don't think it's more original back in the day at all. I feel like it's just
Nah,
so
it is
many
because,
more
like,
rappers now, bro.
You couldn't bite back in the day without somebody dropping a diss track. You feel
The
me?
thing is,
Or
though, is
somebody calling you out for that.
All right, so in the music industry right now, right, you got Tory Lanez, right, who's a super biter, but then you got Uzi, right, then you got X on his rock shit, right, and then you got some other random like Isaiah Rashad, Kendrick Lamar, like it's so many different artists and they all in the same lane. Whereas back in the day, it was literally like a hip, a hop, a hippity, a hippity, and then fuck the police, and then that was it. Like you couldn't do nothing else. Now it's just so many more artists in the game. It seems like everybody's biting each other's style.
I
Because
feel like it's just people are getting more comfortable instead of because back then they had to be street as hell.
Yeah.
These niggas were all in the streets, all this, and it's less street niggas in the game right now. Obviously, some of these
that's very
street
So that goes
niggas.
to my next question. And so for hip
What's your
hop,
first
to get
question?
your,
segue.
to make new genres. Because like you said, like it was J Nas,
Yeah, like how they have, like,
J Nas
ladies,
50. It's just all street shit. Now it's just like
They do try to make new genres, like what is it? Alternative.
Yeah, they do that. They do that.
R&B, like Party Next Door.
But
like,
the support has to be there for it to actually start and turn
right.
into actual genre.
Exactly.
That's the only thing.
They did. They made a rap sing genre too for like Chance the Rappers and Drakes and stuff. They should. If they didn't, they should. They need to make a rapper singer.
I think they did do it. Was that
Yeah.
on the Grammys?
I think it was. That's why I think remember hearing that.
Grammys, or it was probably either the Grammys or the AMAs. I
Yeah.
think it was on. Maybe that. But like I'm a throwback kid, so I've been listening to like old Nas stuff.
Right.
Jay-Z,
Facts.
Big,
Biggie.
Tupac, just like old rap. Like I'm more like an old rap head.
I'm ashamed of myself because like I don't think I can even like name like top like 5 Tupac songs, 5 Biggie songs. I'm ashamed of myself because I'm trying to be an artist, but yet I don't know.
you lose a lot of respect.
Cool.
He one of them
Yeah,
guys.
you feel me?
He one of them
Yeah.
guys that get in an interview and be like, "Oh man, Tupac, man, he's whack, man." And
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say
See,
that.
I was going to talk about
That's
that.
how I
That's a
would
good
come to
segue because I was going to talk about how Lil Xan and some of these like newer artists are like coming at like the old school rap heads that came before them. And I always say, if you want to get into the music industry, you always have to give respect to people that open the doors for you.
Bro,
So,
it's like this. Like when I just first started rapping, like I would take Tupac songs, and this is back when I was like heavy on the pop wave, and I would write them lyrics down, bro. And like he really says some real shit. And it's like, before Tupac, nobody was a Tupac. So if there weren't for a Tupac, there would be no Coles, there would be no Kendricks, there would be nobody after them. Same for Biggie. Like, Biggie is like what Drake wants to be, the all-around artist. Biggie made hits, Biggie made classics, Biggie made hard shit. Biggie did all that. So it's like, for niggas to discredit it and say them niggas was corny, they had no other option. Because, like, all right, we all know some Tupac songs sound weird because his flows be weird, but think about it. Tupac didn't have Tupac to listen to be like, yo, this is weird. Like, he was the first of his kind. So you can't get mad at a trailblazer, somebody to open a door because he didn't know what was on the other side of the door. Like, that's weird.
Mm-hmm. And then there's an artist, like, there was a recent artist, I forget what his name is, but he said, like, Pac was a punk and he was a coward and shit like that. And, like, he, like,
Who said that?
I forget. It was it was a new generation.
Death Row Records East.
Yeah, so with all he was talking about, like, he was like, he's weak and stuff like that. Like, so it was a lot of, like, disrespect to the older generation.
It's like, you never know, though.
Yeah.
You never know. He could have been some random bull just
It don't matter,
thugging.
It's the music, bro. It's
Yeah, I
about
know.
the
That's
music.
it. I never care about that.
Pac
Your
made-
personality is something completely different than music.
Pac made who made Who Shot You? Was that Biggie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what did Pac make? The hard song?
What was it?
I don't even know.
No. He made Hit 'Em Up.
Yeah.
Pac made Hit 'Em Up. Pac made Hit 'Em Up, and then he made Dear Mama. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, any artist right now that's not that versatile. Like, all these new artists out here, they can't do that, bro. Their fans gonna be like, what the hell? So he could have been a punk. Half of these artists is punks out here. You pull a gun at me, like, I don't know. You ain't having my phone, but you might take my I might take my Scully.
All right, so I just want to get into some stuff about you. So, what made you get into the industry? What made you want to start becoming an artist? And where did your name come from?
All right, so what made me want to be an artist? That's just how I talk. Like, I'm not one of them people that'll go like confess my feelings or my emotions or how I feel about the world and politics and whoop whoop. But like, I'll rap that. I'll rap it. Like, I always grew up in the church, so music just been around me. Mm-hmm. I've been around people who knew how to take their thoughts and put it into words. So it's just easier for me. Like, if you ask me a question in real life, I might not have the answer for you. As far as how I feel about something, I might not be able to articulate it. But if somebody's like, yo, make a song about how you feel about this girl, I'd be like, oh, it's just a different language. If you're an artist, you know that language I'm talking about. Yeah. It's just a music language that speaks to you. Mm-hmm. You said what? Why I start rapping?
And then, like, where did Who Am I come from?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. So, what you want, the deep version, or you want the just how like it really happened?
Whatever comes natural.
So the deep version first. Who am I, bro? Create yourself so the world doesn't. If you don't look at yourself in the eye and say, I want to be this is what I feel as though a man is, or this is what I feel as though a woman is, and this is what I'm going to mold myself to be, then you're suscepting yourself to the world being able to mold you. So what's on TV is going to tell you what's cool. What's on the radio is going to tell you what's cool. And it's not all constructive in media. So create yourself so the world doesn't. That's essentially what Who Am I means. How I came up with it, I was changing my rap name one day. And I was just thinking, like, yo, what represents me? Like, yo. And then I was just like, yo, who am I, bro? Like, I don't even know who I am. Who am I? And I'm like, wait, hold up. That sounds so hot. That's my name now. And I jacked with it. Like, that's it. That's how it happened one day.
Cool. That's cool. I respect that. Cause especially when it comes to societal pressures, because we get taught from a young age, just watching TV, how we're supposed to act. Then as black men, they tell us that we're all thugs and we're never going to amount to shit. So you change that when you see people that represent something that you can represent yourself. So I respect that a lot. So going on with that, because you talked about how like music is like a different language for you, it was easier for you to talk about that. I understand that because I write songs as well. Right. But so where does your inspiration come from? Is it just like regular life, or is it just whatever comes to you?
My inspiration comes from anywhere. Like, bro, it could be like anything. Like, I could break up with somebody, or I could get like my teacher could have disrespected me, like tried to belittle me, or I could have been racially profiled. Like, so pretty much life experiences. But sometimes it's other artists. Like, when I see somebody that I feel as though I'm on that level, but I'm not on that level yet. For example, like when Kendrick Lamar comes out with a project that's so crazy, like damn, I'm just like, yo, it just pushes me. It just pushes me because I want my content to reach that level, like creative stuff. Like I don't know if y'all remember on Good Kid, Mad City. He was the first person to do that speaker thing where like he made it sound like the speaker was cutting in and out.
That
Like
was in, the
Section 80.
nah, that was in the Black and the Berry. That album.
yeah, that was Good Kid.
Good Kid was the
Oh, it was To Pimp a Butterfly. My fault.
Yeah.
To Pimp a Butterfly, like that. Like I'm an engineer too, so when I hear stuff like that, it all comes into the same package. Like, yo, that was creative. Like, I need to step my creativity up. You can't just engineer a track now. Now you got to think of different ways to keep the listener. So it's like when I see people keep going, it make me want to just jump to the next level. Competition.
Yeah. So do you have any like live performances coming up or any singles you about to release or something like that?
I'm about to drop. My project is coming in April, man. So it's called Who Am I? Self-titled. It'll pretty much, you'll listen to it, and if you don't know me by then, you're weird, you weren't really listening. Like, it'll just explain to you who I was in the past couple years. The next single off of that is called Autopilot. Essentially, it just means when life is coming at you crazy, you can't get stuck thinking about something that happened. Like, you can't, it's a scripture, man. I'm a scripture kid. It's called, I call it Discourage. My fault. Please excuse this break. Wow. It pretty much just says like don't get discouraged over anything. Like just pray and give your stuff up to God and then just live your life. That's what it means. Autopilot, which is my next single, is just about like all this stuff happening. Like the girl breaking up with me, teachers telling me I ain't gonna be nothing, like mom telling me why are you rapping. It's just like, yo, give it up to God and go look forward. Nobody else is you, so nobody else is going to see your vision because can't nobody else do it how you can. So that's what my next single is, Autopilot. Who Am I coming in April? I don't know what day yet, but I'm gonna link it up with you. You could put it on whatever bio and just beware. Performances are, so you gonna get the exclusive. I don't have no performances set up right now. I'm planning a tour this summer.
All right.
I'm planning on creating a collective group of individuals to go on tour with me, and we just trying to take over the coast. Like, to be honest, get our stuff out there. I just want to help as many artists as I can. Just get exposure.
Some good vibes and shit.
Yeah, man.
Got good vibes out there. The world's getting fucked up.
100%, bro.
So you talked about how it's like a combination of like songs that happened to you over the course of your life in the past few years. So like, is it going to be like, so for this one, you said Autopilot, so it's talking about like probably like a relationship or people telling you certain things. Can you talk about some of the other songs on?
I got you. I'm gonna put a track list up right now. I'm gonna run through it. It's only 8 songs.
Now it's going to be released on Spotify or
everything. It's gonna be everywhere, like Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, all the streaming services. But I'm pushing towards SoundCloud. So if you support me, go stream it on SoundCloud. I'm not cashing no iTunes checks. I'm not even checking how much they're paying, bro. They're paying like 0.01 cents on the dollar.
Dumb stuff.
Just
dumb stuff.
Let my plays go up, bro. Let that SoundCloud play go. Free KK. That's the opening track. That's my last single. If you haven't heard it, please check it out. Real quick, like TK, I feel as though he's a product of his environment. And if I go back to Create Yourself So the World Doesn't, I feel like he's one of them kids who let the outside environment and like the media create him and give him the stigma that he has to do this, he has to gangbang, he has to shoot. Bro, the kid's 17.
Trying to prove himself.
Yeah. So it's like, it's nowhere else that you learned it from besides the media. You're 17. You didn't even get kicked out your crib yet. So it's like, dang, that's crazy. Autopilot, I just explained that. Keep It You is it's just a song about keeping it you, man. It's really self-explanatory, that one. Never switch, same thing. Don't switch up. Like, don't let... My mentor told me this. He said, I told him, yo, I'm interested in forming a group, a collective of creatives. And he said, yo, the first thing you got to do is get in a room and put y'all moral values on the table and make sure y'all all got the same values. Because if y'all don't, any amount of money, someone could just waive it for you. And one of them is going to go straight for it. So you got to make sure like the people around you and you yourself never switch for nothing. Like, have your morals and stick to them. Highs and the lows, it's pretty much about accepting life as it comes. Highs and the lows, pretty self-explanatory. Once again, Great Escape, it's about a drug trip. Like, it's about smoking to get away from your problems, and it just takes you through like a time where I'm high as hell, just thinking about everything. Die for You, that's more of a religious song about just me giving my appreciation to God. And Lord is a prayer that I'm talking to God. Like, I explain all my sins out on one song, and I just ask for forgiveness and that He can switch that and make it a positive. So that's the whole project right there. Y'all should listen, bro. It's nothing but bangers.
Respect it. So you said Autopilot's going to come out soon, right?
Very soon.
And then the first single that you put out off this was?
Put 2 singles out. My first single was Lord. So that's out right now. It's on iTunes everywhere. Right. Who Am I, Lord? Look that up. The second single was Take K. Who Am I? Free Take K. Look that up. Right. So it's all there. It's on wax.
Okay. So I know this is going to be a hard question for you to answer, but
this joint better be a banger. Go ahead.
So, what's your favorite song you ever made?
That's crazy. Let me look. All right, so my favorite. Damn. Can I go like off of each project? Because that's weird. You can't just say it's your favorite song ever.
That's why I said it's a hard question.
All right, hold on. Let me look. Oh, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't have a favorite song. I have a favorite verse. That's hard as hell. Let me think. I really like, it's this song. Ooh, I know exactly what song it is. All right, so I wrote this song about this girl. It's called Projects. I have a project called Adonis Party of 7, and the song is called Projects. And I was from the suburbs growing up, and she was from the projects. That's why I called it Projects. And it's like when we linked up, like you could tell the difference. And like I really vibed with her, and she wasn't really feeling it, so I wrote about it. But I just like the creativity of the song. So it was really creative, and I was telling a story. That's back when I was like Eminem type, telling stories the whole song. So it was a cool song. I like how I just told the story and people understood.
So was this like an old mixtape?
Yes.
Is that on SoundCloud as well?
Yeah, SoundCloud, iTunes,
Spotify. What's it called?
Adonis Party of 7.
Adonis Party of 7. Okay, so guys, check that out. So another question for you. Do you have any dream collabs that you would?
Yes, I want to do a song with G Herbo so bad, bro. I want to do it. That's it.
It can't be it, bro.
It's just like nobody else do I care. Like,
what about G Herb brings you to him? And
G Herb's flows is crazy. That's one thing. His street shit he be talking about, he spitting fast.
Well,
that freestyle he did with the Double XL John with Dave East and him, he ripped that.
Wild.
Ripped it.
I would say Herb, what brought me to him is 2 things. Some of my closest friends are from Chicago, so when you meet a Chicago person, anybody who's listening to this is going to know if they've met a Chicago person. Like, they're so genuine and they're so real, and it's 2 different types. It's the really fake ones or the real genuine ones. And like G Herbo is a real genuine person. He doesn't fabricate anything. Yeah, but like when I was in one of the worst times of my life, like, and it was just probably like last semester or something, he helped me get out of that. Like when his song called Trials by G Herbo on Humble Beats. That song just like, it spoke to me. Like, you ever just heard a song and you just from the rip, it's like, dang, he's talking to me. He been in a place where I've been at. That's why I like G Herbo. Just because he got me out of the situation.
So my last question for you. What do you hope to change in the music industry?
Bruh, these music niggas are so corny. Like, why is it that you have to be killing niggas to be cool? Why is it that you have to... And I wear mad jewelry, like, on fashion type time. But, like, why do you got to talk about the amount of bread that you spend on your chain? Like, why is that so cool? Like,
AKA Migos.
Yeah, like, why are we making things cool? Like, talk about your culture. Do something that is reachable for your people. Like, help people out. Why are you flexing on your own people? You're not flexing on these white people, bro. They got the bread already. So you're not flexing on them. They're looking at you stupid. You just spent 10 bands on a chain, and he just put 10 bands in an investment to make it 30.
Dropped what? How many millions? 17, 16 million?
On what?
That video he made? Or 7 million probably.
On God's Plan?
It was a mill.
It was a mill.
Yeah,
the mill.
A couple mil.
I'm saying I respect Drake for that. He gave the bread out. Like, you shouldn't publicize you doing charity, but end of the day, like, he gave the money out. Like, I don't. What I would change about the industry is what we think is cool. That's it. There's no status quo. If you're a cool nigga, you're a cool nigga. If you're a gangster nigga, you're a gangster nigga. Like, there's no, oh, I have to have a gun to be a gangster. I know gangsters that will kill you with no weapon. I know niggas that are cool that you would look at and say he's lame, but he's a cool person. Like,
and what murky though.
Like, facts. So it's just like these standards is so off when in reality the world is not like that. It's a bunch of different people out there that do a bunch of different things.
I feel like everything's about perception, and people try too hard to be one person or look one way just because they see it out all the time. And even in songs, like I feel like people that aren't about that life, I feel like they could rap about that just because they are around people that are about that life too. So they're just putting their input, you know what I'm saying? They can probably be talking to them, you know what I'm saying, trying to bring them out of that life and then put them somewhere else. But
and speaking of that, like the community, I seen you've been doing like some stuff in the community on your Instagram. Can you talk about some of the stuff you've been doing?
Man, my first community service event was, it was called the Shadow Program. We brought some high schoolers up to Rowan University, and we had them stay with us for a weekend just to show them what the school was like and stuff like that. And that's what really, I've done community service before, but that was the one that sparked it because I saw a direct impact on the kids. Like just teaching them the ropes. Like, I threw a little party for them, let them know, like, yo, this is what comes with it, but you got to study. Like, you got to get here. It's fun as hell up here. You just got to make it here. So the Shadow Program I did, rest in peace, my grandfather, Teddy's Toys for Tots. He created that, and I've been carrying that on as far as around every Christmas time, we get like thousands of dollars worth of toys in the city of Camden, and we just have the impoverished kids come through and they get to pick out a couple toys, take a picture with Santa. I'm doing a clothing drive right now, so I'm accepting clothes. Like, if you got something you want to throw away, me and the people that are fashion designers, we like cut it up, sew stuff, make it look fire, and we give it back to people. That's pretty much all I'm doing right now.
That's great.
As far as that.
I recently, there's somebody from Camden as well that's like a community activist. Her name is Ty Mitchell. I don't know if you watched my YouTube or anything like that, but I interviewed her. They had recently had like an art event, and it was based on pretty much similar stuff to you. It's about bringing like kids books during the school year, teaching them about like mental health. And that was like a big proponent of what she wanted to do was talk about mental health, especially in the Black community, because we don't talk enough
that's essential
about our mental health,
bro,
and talking to each other.
I forgot who was just talking about that, but mental health, bro. I don't even know if it's Black community. I don't know if it's any community. Mental health, bro, is something that everybody needs to talk about because people are scared to say, yo, I've been to a point where I did not want to be here no more. And that's not good. And if you're not comfortable sharing that with people, then it's only going to get worse and worse. So it's like, for me, like, I was comfortable enough to share that with the people around me that was immediately close. And now I feel great. Like, I feel better than I ever felt. But it's just like, if it's frowned upon in your community, it's going to be like, oh, damn, we didn't even know she was going through it. Now she's going. Like, you never want that to be the case. You always want somebody to be able to reach out. So just open that pathway for people. Man. Please.
Yeah, and then we were specifically talking about, especially during the event, like, because our brother is an artist too. I don't know I think you might know him because I think you follow him on Instagram as well. Pop Culture.
Pop Culture.
That's her brother. So he performed there too. And when I interviewed him, I was talking about how not only is in the Black community it's a like a taboo, and like the Hispanic community it's like a taboo, but also when it comes to Black men, we don't talk to each other. Like, we'll like be like, oh, I'm cool, and then just pass it off. Like, you'll see like, but we always hear about females. They'll talk about anything together. They talk about what shoes they bought yesterday, like how they niggas getting on their damn nerves and shit like that. They'll talk about that, but we just kick it, and that's it. Other than that.
First off, shout out Pop Culture. I just found him and know exactly who you're talking about. He's one of the most genuine people I ever met. Like,
he's a cool guy.
He's a really cool guy, man. His work ethic is crazy. You know he loves music when he talks to you because that's all he talks about. Like, it get annoying as hell. But like, he's cool. And you was just talking about how black men don't talk to each other, bro. I feel like some of that is geographical, but it's true. Like you walk on the street. Why is it when I walk down the street and I see a group of black guys, I'm like I gotta put my stern face on and I gotta like make sure that people know like I'm not to mess with. Like that's messed up. When in reality, I used to go to Virginia State. And I was weirded out there because I was like down there because I was like, yo, why is everyone saying what's up to me? Like, do they know me from somewhere? And I'm over there guarded, like, yo, like, what's up? Like, what's up? Like, literally somebody said, what's up? And I'm like, what's up? Like, what are we talking about here? But then somebody had to tell me, like, bro, this is the South. Like, we are genuine people down here.
It is geographic. I do believe that. Because it was like a culture shock for me, too, when I visited family. And then I would walk around and people were like, hi. I'm used to New York shit. Like, people just walking past you. They're like, I got too much shit on my brain. I got work to get done. I ain't got time to talk to your ass. Like, so get out of my way. Like, I'm used to, like New York, Philly stuff. So, it is geographical. And then, part of that, it is geographical when you really think about it.
Think about it, though. Like, down the South, right? A bunch of HBCUs. Mm-hmm. Black people getting it together. Black people lifting themselves up. Right. Up here, we don't even talk to each other.
Prime example, you look at it in the music. And down south, they all, you feel me, ride with each other with the music. New York niggas.
Especially Atlanta. Everybody in Atlanta, they all got each other's back. So
up here, you would never know.
Those stacks for people.
He'll hop on any track of new upcoming artists and stuff like that. Jay-Z, you feel me, he be kind of chilling. But not like Jay-Z, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the independence up here is just a lot different.
Like, I can see the outside this wall, it could be somebody that is like, I need to connect with. A photographer that would take me to the next level. And I would never know because we don't do that here. It's not natural. I see you as like, oh, all right, suck.
Because we see each other as competition.
Word.
That's the problem. Mm-hmm. Instead of seeing each other as like, oh, I can
potential
help
people.
Out, like potential people.
And
then that's why I wanted to do this because we don't have enough of camaraderie between the artists.
Right.
It doesn't matter what part of the entertainment industry you're part of. At the end of the day, we're still part of the same industry. If you're a photographer, you can help a musician get a better platform on social media, which social media is the new thing for us to promote all the music that we create, all the videos we want to promote, all the singles we want to promote, and just getting our brand out there. So if we don't have a photographer that's professional, we can't get up there with the major artists, especially if you're independent. And then if you have like somebody that's a good artist, they can help you with creating art for your album. We don't talk about that stuff, so that's why I pretty much made this whole platform.
Word, that's beautiful, bro. I love it. Like I love getting people in a room and talking to each other, just getting to know what's on people's mind, what people thinking about. I think that's dope.
So I guess I want to talk to you guys as well. So you guys are his friends. So what drew you guys all together? Like what about WHOAMI brought you guys into this whole...
I met him in high school when he just moved in. And he was a cool boy, you know what I'm saying? He had his little shades on. And he found that I rap, and I knew he rapped. So I came to his crib one day, we recorded a track, and then from there, just...
Bangers.
Pretty much, you know what I'm saying? He put me on to making music and stuff. I would always write and rap and whatnot, but I would never take it serious until I met him. So,
and that goes to just bring it back to like, yo, we would never know if we met each other. He has one of the craziest pens. Like, if we didn't collaborate and like meet each other through people, we would never have found each other. And now we both like at this position where people are listening to what we saying. It's tough.
So,
I met him through a close friend of mine that I met at my old job. And he was telling me, because I told my bro that I make music and stuff, and he was helping me out. So he was telling me about a group called Code, like a whole bunch of artists. Doesn't got to be rap artists, but there's like graphic designers, and just drawing artists, all that. So he told WHOAMI about me, and he wanted to meet me. So I came to the audition to be in Code. So.
Okay, can you talk about I'm going to let you answer, but after that, can you talk about Code for a second? After we done with him?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, bro?
I think it was like doing mutual friend. I think it was just cool. Like we had a lot of friends in common. We ended up just started linking up. For real. Like just straight friendship type.
Yeah, like genuine, like genuine, like before the music, like before Who Am I, before I was even Who Am I, like type of shit. Code, man. Code is an acronym. It plays a double meaning. Code stands for Creatives of Diverse Entertainment, and it is exactly that. Like he said, if you do anything in the entertainment, like what you do, what we do, like we are artists. If you're a graphic designer, if you're a videographer, if you want to be an entertainment lawyer, if you want to be an event booker or something like that, like Code is the place for you. And what Code does is we take people with passion and we turn it into a profession so that you know how to handle yourself as far as making sure everything is straight, making sure you're getting compensated, whether it be through exposure or through money, making sure that you're in position that people look at you for your art and not for who you are, you feel me? That's what I'm working on, because I feel as though if the game is going to be oversaturated with artists, it's just like I'd rather look for the artists that I like and I mess with personally and put them in a position to be better than the next person who looking at me like competition. I'm going to take my head off. Like now you going against an army. You're not just going against me. Like if me and him at a place, I was just talking to them about it earlier. If we all at a space where they don't like my music, they're going to like his music, or his music. You see what I'm saying? So it's power in numbers. So just like how we were talking about how people don't collab with each other, like that's what's going to turn the community around. It's some code shit. Code also is the code. Like when you think of code, you think of a password, like a way we speak, a way we talk to each other, a way we communicate that no one else knows about, a way we keep it professional that an outside person might not know how to handle themselves in this situation, but we've been through it like a million times before we even got to the table with the contract. Now we looking at it and we gonna look at it like, yo, this don't even make sense. That's just because you in code, like we trying to give you the industry knowledge. Like, yo, this contract is ridiculous. Like that type of stuff. So code is creative of diverse entertainment, man. We trying to keep it professional. That's all it is.
And when did you start Code?
September.
So
yeah.
This recently started.
Yeah.
Okay. Respectable. I really respect that. Like I said before, we need more and more people to do that. There's a person I know that you should probably link up with, Dot Destin. I don't know if you know him.
Dot Destin.
He's a New Jersey artist. But he has like a whole thing that he started probably a few years ago. I went to RCGC with him before. So he has like a collective. He has like an event he does every Monday. Like every other Monday, he has like an open mic night. So it's pretty much artists he knows around the area. He brings them up to like a stage and they perform. It's like just to collaborate with other artists, bring new talent to the forefront, and then they work together. So,
that's dope, bro. I'd love to link with him.
Yeah. So I'd like to link that. So I'm just going to break for a second, guys. We'll be back.
Word.
All right, guys. So we're back. We're just going to talk about some like current day topics in the music industry. So I've been recently. I don't know if you guys have recently heard about like the whole Bruno Mars controversy.
Nah, what happened?
So people have been talking about how he's like a culture appropriator, and how like he's using predominantly black music, especially from back in the day, like New Jack Swing, to gain popularity and gain money, and the artists that created don't get the same respect or the same honor in that. So there was a interview. Well, it was an interview. It's like a panel of black people. It's called The Grapevine TV. You guys can search that on YouTube. It's made by Ashley Acuna. She's African. So it's pretty much like a collective of people just talking about current events. So they've been talking about culture appropriation before. They talked about it with Justin Timberlake, like Iggy Azalea, and artists like that. But the reason why I got so much flack is because it was like 2 weeks after he won the Grammy. So, all his fans was mad about that. And then, like, one of the people in there, her name's Seren, but she, like, had a controversial comment because she was like, because she doesn't like him personally. And she's very blunt. If you watch the show, like, over the years, she's very blunt. So if you don't watch it and you just hear it for the first time, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe she would say this. But she said, if he died, I wouldn't give a fuck.
That's true.
And then, so people ran with that. So they recently had like an interview on Hot 97 talking about the whole controversy about it, just explaining it a little bit more. So I just want to see what you guys think about it. But I'm just going to talk about for people that don't understand what cultural appropriation is.
I just looked up the definition of my
cultural appropriation is pretty much it's like you, and it's been in the industry when you think about it for years. It's where you take something that's been influenced by a certain culture, you usually like dumb it down a little bit to make it more palatable for your culture,
Right.
and then you gain success, you get monetary value off of it, and you become like you can change the history of where it actually came from to make it benefit your culture. So that's pretty much what people are saying that he's on the verge of doing. In my personal opinion, I think he's in the vein of what a cultural appropriation.
What's his race?
He's Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican, and and then see, but this is why. So and then, and that's why it's so nuanced, because people when you think about it, you think of it as black and white. You don't really think of it as people of color doing it to people of color. But when you think about how we live in an anti-black society, anti-blackness is in every culture. You hear like Jamaicans, they come here and they're like, "I'm not black, I'm Jamaican." If you see somebody from Africa, they'll be like, "I'm not African American, I'm African." So it's like trying to separate us from the diaspora, even though we all come from the same place. We just landed on different places from the different ships. So that's what it's really about. So I just want to get your guys' opinions on that.
I mean, like, it's just certain things that I'm going to start off by saying it's certain things that if you're not black, you can't do. Example, say the M-word. But anything other than that, it's just like, it's music.
Yeah,
like, it's music. He's drawing inspiration from something he thinks is cool. He's flipping it into something that him and his people are going to relate to. That's what all music is. Why we got to make it a thing about race? Like, it's like, I always said this about, like, my people. It's like, you can't be the coolest people in the room and be mad when people start jacking your fly. Like, bro, African Americans made certain trends in the music industry cool. People are going to jack that. Let them do it. If you're original, nobody's going to be able to be like the original. And that's all I got to say on that.
I second that. That's all I got to say. He said what I had to say.
I agree.
Agree as well.
Appropriating. Like, bro, you don't appropriate them Grammys. Like, boy got dummy Grammys. What are we talking about? He doesn't even have to listen to this conversation. He probably didn't even reply to it, did he?
No, he didn't.
I don't think he did. He got too many.
What about the debate between him being a better performancer, Chris Brown or Bruno?
Why is that even a question? Chris Brown.
I went back and forth with this dude on Twitter.
Because there was. I saw that it was like an Instagram post, right?
I saw it on Twitter. It was on Instagram and Twitter. Like people just going back and forth.
Yeah, because it was like Bruno Mars, Chris Brown, Usher, and Omarion. So it was like who's the better performer out of all of them?
Omarion?
No, it's Chris Brown.
I feel like Bruno Mars has a unique way of performing. You know, he got his own the whole group with him. You know, like
listen, bro. Chris Brown was on something like this on a stage that did
doing
that,
this
and that while dancing, bro. Like,
longevity is crazy. Like he was doing that.
The boy was 16, bro. Like came out with a top hit, and he'd been performing ever since. He did the Michael Jackson tribute. You don't let any random nigga do Michael Jackson on a premiere stage. Like, come on.
After he beat his shorty's ass, like.
We was just talking about the Chris Brown and Rihanna thing the other day. But
that one thing on Snapchat.
That was wild.
Yeah.
I seen that.
There was this thing on Snapchat where it was like you know how they have like the yes or no thing on Snapchat now where you can click just like for polling. So they had like it was like I think it was slap Chris Brown or like punched Rihanna, something like that. Something crazy like that. So like Rihanna found out about it because she's on Snapchat a lot. So after that all happened, like she got annoyed by it. So like the stock in Snapchat like literally dropped right after that. Like she took all her money out of Snapchat, so the stock dropped out of it.
Sick.
Yeah. So
that's why Snap ass right now.
Yeah.
Snapchat's garbage.
So
right, it's not even a proper hoe app no more.
So it's just like damn. Like you can't really fuck with people like that.
Word.
But another thing I wanted to talk about. So when it comes to the music industry, we all know how artists don't get paid what they're deserved. And, so recently there have been like articles about how Spotify has helped the music industry in a way where they're now making money off of Spotify now with the new changes in the revenue stream, because now they're trying to take the free tier out of Spotify to make it be all like a paid subscription.
Like Tidal,
yeah, like how Tidal is. But the thing is, because I recently had another interview with somebody else, we were talking about it as well. It's interesting how they're saying that it's helping the industry stay afloat, but when it comes to the artists, we're still getting paid like cents to a penny. At the end of the day, it's like less than a penny what we're getting paid, and it takes like 1,500 streams of a song to get like an album worth of it, just so you get paid off of it for a stream when it comes to Spotify. So it's like there's kind of still a disconnect between where it goes for the business and where it goes for the artist, and we're still at the back end of it.
I feel like, I mean, like, music, bro, this industry is a hustle. It's like any game, like drugs, like anything you hustling is going to change over time. Like, the price of something is going to go down, go up. I feel like with the new way that music is made, with the new way music is consumed via streaming, it just forces artists
to do other stuff.
To be, like, artists have to now evolve. Like, they have to be, before you could just drop a record, maybe perform once or twice a year.
Now.
Like
clothes, shows,
everything, bro.
All that.
Like you look at back in the day, like Motown, like they would
drop a record, we're good,
and then they were good for at least like 2
just
years.
Do shows
good
the whole time. That's all.
And then that'll be it for it. But now it's like you have to be like,
Especially
you have to be a producer for yourself. You gotta be a writer for yourself. You gotta be able to choreograph your own shit. You gotta be able to create your own shit. So it's pretty much like you have to be like a one person shop to make it.
What he said was like how you have to be an entrepreneur. Like, bro, it's different now. Like, if you thought you was going to just get picked up and get signed or something, that's done now. What streaming is technology advanced. We're not buying $10 CDs no more. So you're not getting $10 for every piece of work you get. Now you're getting like 0.01 cents for it. So why are you signing to a label? It's so easy to get on these music distributors. It's so easy to print your CD out. It's so easy to put yourself in front of people. Everything that a label offers you, you now have to do for yourself. So I think it's just, it's corny, but I just feel like it separates the real from the fake. Like, if you don't want to put all that work in, if music to you is just a paycheck, then you're gonna dwindle down. You're gonna go get a job somewhere, because if you focus on the money, then this is not the industry for you. Mm-hmm. But if you love art and you're true to you and you have a unique sound and you're not biting everybody, you're going to prosper. Them bands is going to go up, and eventually you're going to be getting $20,000 for a show. Mm-hmm. So I kind of I like it in a sense, because it just like the game was already oversaturated, and now it's just like, all right, this whole group of people is now done. All they wanted was money. They're out the way. They don't even want to record no more. Let the real stay. And
the grind starts. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's nothing but grinding.
You guys have any thoughts about that as well?
No.
Wise words from a decent man. Yo. I repeat the real.
All right. Let's get into something else. So I don't know if you guys have seen the new show Nas has been promoting. It's called Rapture on Netflix. It's pretty much about the rap artist from back in the day, talking about like how he wanted to sign a rapper named Rhapsody. She's a female rapper. So it's on Billboard, this article. It's pretty much talking about the failures and like the how the music industry used to work, and how he brought in these certain artists to change the field of African Americans in the genre, especially hip hop. So I think it's like a good thing especially for hip hop heads to look into. And then like he had a show before that called The Get Down. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys saw that.
That's with
Jaden
Smith.
I ain't like
with Jaden Smith. The first season, I liked the first season better.
They canceled it though, right?
They canceled it after the second season, because I think what made it like suffer was like they added like comic book sequences into it. Yeah. So that kind of took away some of the popularity from
I kind of got that because one of the boys he was making his own.
Yeah,
comic,
like
so.
it made like it.
Jaden Smith he was making.
Yeah, like it made sense because like one of the like Jaden Smith's character was like an artist, so he was like a graffiti artist. So he was all like doing graffiti most of the show. If you watched it, so it made sense. But I feel like that kind of took out the realism for some
Right.
people. So like if you take out the realism of something, it kind of ruins people's perspective on what the show would actually turn out to be. But I thought it was a great show because it really showed like the progression from 80s hip hop where it first started, from like disco, and then it's faded into like what we like the hip hop, the hippie hop, and then like this transition, like so it was like an interesting thing to see for a timeline of music to see how trends end and how new things become like interesting. So I wish that show didn't get canceled, but I think that this kind of stands in the place of that because it still is like based on the trends and the different genres of hip hop. So I just want to talk about that.
And the show's called what?
The show's called Rapture. It's on
Rapture.
Netflix. And then he was talking about Killer Mike as well. He was talking about him being how Killer Mike's like a talented lyricist and how like picking his brain on how he makes records and stuff like that. So I think that's interesting.
I'm gonna check that out.
And we already talked about the Lil Xan shit with Tupac. We already talked about this, so we can skip that.
Lil Xan.
No, people like I guess they brought up a song. They brought up a song, and he said it was boring. I don't think he necessarily said that Tupac was boring. Like overall, I think they said a song like, "What you think about this song?" He just said boring. Like,
let me check that out real quick.
I wonder why there's so much hate when people like from the new generation. I mean, like there's such a big difference in time and what we hear. Why do old heads get mad at us if we were to say, "Oh, I didn't like this Biggie song, I didn't like this Tupac song, this Rakim song, or whoever."
It's just like old people, and I don't like to use this term, but old people, they just want so much credit for creating everything.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like they want you to say this is the golden era, and everything after this will never compare. Like, bro, to be honest with you, like Tupac wasn't even alive when I was born, so it's like to expect somebody like my age to know everything about the hip hop industry from when it started in like the 70s or 60s to now, that's crazy. So it's like, if you think Tupac is born or not, what does it matter? The question is your track hot? Do you have hits? Like, are you popping? That's how I feel.
people trying to kick him out of the rap game and shit.
Yeah, that's to do with all the tats, right?
Yeah.
He cool. He's cool dude though.
Is he mixed?
He's Spanish.
He's Spanish.
Yeah, he goes by like Diego or something like that.
Okay. Because at first I thought he was mixed.
Yeah. Maybe both.
I think he's just white, bro.
Nah, bro,
he's
Spanish, bro.
Y'all like Lil Xan though? His music?
He got some good shit. Like I think 2 songs.
I checked out his song. I ain't really feel it like that, bro.
Wake Up and Betrayed is pretty good.
I just don't relate to the Xan music.
Right.
I don't pop Xan.
He don't pop him no more though. He said it in an interview.
All niggas say that when they on interviews.
Right, I don't pop no more.
I don't do drugs.
Like I don't do weed.
Hell no. I was Lil Xan. I be Xanned up in the interview. This the Lil Xan y'all want it? This what y'all gonna get. What's up? If I fall asleep halfway through, y'all still paying me.
That's hilarious. Yeah, so I just lost my place.
I mean, that's what pure comedy do. It got you all over the place.
You know what I don't understand? Like, if you're an artist, right? You already got bread. What's the need of snatching another nigga chain?
What you say?
What's the need of snatching another nigga's
That's
chain?
that street part, bro. That's them street niggas.
Yeah, that's street. That's
clout chasing. That's clout chasing. Niggas just want to be on the grim, like, yeah, I got your chain, 50 racks for it back. 50 racks. Like, come on, bro. Me, whole time, I'm like, all right, bet. I got 2 more now.
I got 2 left. Right.
And I'm getting we're not gonna talk about it. All that bread, bro. I'm sending people to find you. My chain and your chain now.
Going off the fact of like the older generation and the like our generation, and then like you talked about how they want us to give them so much credit for some of the stuff. I think it's because another part of it is we don't get taught the history of where we come from.
Right.
In school, we just get taught slavery. We get Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman. Like if we get Harriet Tubman, we don't really get that either. it's like specific people that white people have now given acclaim themselves that they teach us
Like
about.
it's okay, you can go talk
Yeah,
about
you can
that.
talk about them, but so I think it's like one of the they feel that because I hear from my mom too because she's an educator, so she always talks about how it's like especially when it comes to education, how kids in school don't seem to value education, and how education is the way that we get out.
That's a fact.
Except for getting because music, but you need to know like how to balance your accounts. You need to know how to make sure you're getting the right payment for what you're doing. You have to know how to stay afloat. You gotta know how to pay your bills. You gotta know how to do certain things. So education is the basis of us getting out. And then when it comes to the community, especially when it comes to history, we're on the back burner of stuff. We don't have generational wealth like our counterparts, our white counterparts. So we have to figure out ways to. I don't know if you guys have seen one of the latest Breakfast Club interviews. I don't watch Breakfast Club that much either, like you. But there was somebody that talking about how to build revenue by buying old row homes and buying old projects, and you building wealth off of that and teaching us that we don't have to spend money to get it. You can pass it down without spending money, your own money. The only money you have to use would be like to do repairs or anything like that. But you'll make all that money back if you do it the correct way. Right. So, let me research this right now.
Bro, but that's the thing, like about the industry now is like, and exactly like that's what Jay-Z was talking about. People want this. People see Future and think, oh, it's quick. Like I'm gonna sip some codeine and be tough as hell on the mic, drop a track and be good. Like nobody's talking about the hustle, like what you got to do to make money no more. So now kids are in school. Oh, I don't need this. Like I could drop out and do whatever, like this guy or like that guy. And that goes back to what you said. What would I change about the industry? Like I would make it real. I would make it reality. Let people talk about what's really going on, so that people can know, like, yo, I'm buying this property when I get out of here, so that I can give it to my kids. Y'all seen the what's the interview? My favorite interview, man. Dame Dash. Y'all didn't see the
one with Dame Dash when he was talking about if you work for
someone else, you're not creating opportunities for your children. Yeah. Right. Bro, that's
and Envy was hot. Envy was hot about that too.
Envy.
Yeah.
Tripping, bro.
That's always like, oh, I'll never call somebody like my boss or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Dame Dash. So the guy's name that I was talking about for the interview, his name is Mark Whitten. So if you guys want to search that on YouTube, you guys can watch that. I think that's an interesting thing, especially for our community to listen to. Because when I first heard about it, while reacting to it, I was like, how are we going to buy real estate without paying money for it? So like he kind of explains how you can do it.
Word, send me that.
So, yeah.
What's his name?
Mark Whitten.
You wrote it down? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we trying to get on that, man. I'm trying to get property ASAP. We was talking about that just the other week.
And then another thing I want you guys to listen to, watch for Breakfast Club interview. I think is a good thing for us is there's a financial journalist. Her name is Stacey Tisdale, and she's talking about like smart ways to invest your money into like either the community or just balancing how you can create money. So that's another person you guys should check out too as well.
Definitely. I was trying to get the bands up.
So I think that's it for me. Some other stuff. So can you give them a rundown on your social medias?
Man, look, Instagram
tracks and stuff like that.
All right, man. I got 3 projects out. Humble Gods 8. Don't worry about the first one. Humble Gods 8, Adonis Party of 7. Who Am I coming out? I got 2 singles off the new project. It's called Free TK and it's called Lure. It's all on SoundCloud everywhere. Just look up Who Am I with a question mark. No spaces. You're going to find it spelled exactly how it should be. My Instagram, Who Am I, is at whoamitv.tv. My website is whoamitv.tv. I only go on Instagram and my website and YouTube. Whoamitv.tv. It's going to come up. You type it in Google. Find me, man. Fuck with me. I'm for the community. I'm for the kids. I'm for the ladies, too. So we here with it.
You guys want to shout out your stuff?
Official book with it.
He's like, I gotta find my shit.
Follow me on the gram, email Powell _ A lot of content coming out. Produce, write, So
Yeah, the
stay
engineering
tuned.
shit.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. A lot of stuff coming soon.
Anything?
Follow me on Instagram at it's Adi_the_Pradi.
Spell that.
Alright. It's Adi is ODDY. The, you know I spell the. Prodi is PRODY.
Yo, if y'all was interested in code, man, follow code on Instagram. That's all we got. At keep the code. No spaces. Keep the code. I'm running through my shout outs now. Mike, shout out Vicky, shout out Kareem, code. Josh, Drip, man, Drip the Savage, shout Drip out. Cash Kari, man, shout you out. My nigga Marquise, man, shout out Keys, shout out Kat, that's little sis. My boy Jalen, shout him out. Ruben, big bro, little big bro. Benny Savage, man, shout out B Sav, shout out Imani, Sierra, man, check her podcast out. She just started. Shout out Lino.
What's her podcast called?
Her podcast is, I got you right now. I'm plugging you in, Imani, bro. I'm plugging you in, yo.
I'll check her out.
I'm plugging you in, man. Her podcast is called, I just deleted her message thread. Dang, man. I'm going to send it to you, bro.
All right, send it to me.
Just shout out all the code, man. Shout out New Perspective Code, too, man. Shout out God, man. That's it. That's all my shouts. Mama, too.
My Twitter is I_B nameless. Instagram, nameless be that nig. Just nameless be that NIG. Same thing with my SoundCloud. You know what I'm saying? Go check out Late Night. Go check out my new joint I just dropped, The Legends Bounce. That's just a banger. We're going to elevate and just bounce up. That's all we're going to do. And that's that.
All right.
Big bangers.
And you guys can always follow me at DWriter on Instagram, and then follow us at the Millennial Tunes podcast. Instagram is at Welcome to the Wavelength. Welcome to the Wavelength is pretty much about us all being on the same wavelength, trying to make it in the music industry, make it in the entertainment industry, and doing it all together. So follow me there, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.